With the release of Spider-Man No Way Home tonight, I wanted to make a video going in depth of the things that I want or should happen in the movie from my opinion before myself is attending a showing tonight. So if you guys are huge fans of Spider-Man and not sure what to suspect or know exactly what you want, then feel free to hear me out. I will also, in the next day or two after seeing the movie, be doing a tier list video ranking all the Spider-Man films from best to worst. So make sure to look out for that by turning on notifications for this channel. I also have big plans for this channel with being consistent on this and my main channel, so lots of exciting content on the way. Number 5, it needs to have a good story. Now, this may be an obvious observation when you first look at it, but when you dive deeper into it, you need to look in the past of what patterns have occurred. This is the third movie in Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy. Another thing to be said there is that this is the end of this current trilogy, a said wrap up to this part of Peter's story, beginning all the way from Spider-Man Homecoming or Civil War. What I have loved with this iteration of the character is that he has been developed outside of just his own movies, differently from the past legacies of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Outside of his now upcoming third movie, we have had 6 on-screen appearances of this version of the web slinger. The thing I worry about with the said recent patterns is that we haven't seen a good wrap-up to a Spider-Man story. A lot of people would like to forget about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, or the way it was handled in story aspects was on poor standards. Now, of course, I don't hate Spider-Man 3, but it is definitely the weakest of the trilogy compared to one of the most best superhero movies of all time, Spider-Man 2. But I could guess that most Tobey fans were not happy or satisfied with how that character was left off. B, the same thing could be said for Andrew Garfield's movies. Now yes, Andrew did only have 2 movies in his run, and people argue about how Andrew's story as a web slinger was weaker than Tobey's. But with how The Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended, it was as well not really a resolution or satisfactory ending the fans wanted. Yes, it is very hard for a franchise, any franchise in fact, that has multiple or more movies to wrap up a current story for character or cast in a way that people can be happy. I do not expect Spider-Man No Way Home to wrap up with a bow tie, ending the trilogy 100% like I or others wanted to. It is impossible to please everyone. I just want to come out of the movie feeling like there was a good story that wouldn't have me leaving with a foul taste, that this Peter Parker / Spider-Man ending to this part of his story wasn't handled adequately. Number 4, a sense of stakes at hand. With the other iterations of the movies, you usually feel like the main cast is gonna get by okay, and you don't have to worry too much about the most important people getting hurt or dying. From what you see in the trailers, Peter's friends and family definitely get thrown into the mix a lot more, but I want more than just that. I want to feel danger for these characters, that at any moment, one of these characters' rugs could literally be pulled from under their feet. Now, do I think it's going to be MJ from that scene of her falling in the trailers? No. I don't think we're going to get another Gwen Stacy moment, but I'm hoping, as cool as it'd be, because I speculate everything for hours in my head, probably on an unhealthy, nerdy level, that someone else could possibly save her, and I wonder who that could be. Number 3, Spider-Man. Now, a standing goes because everyone has had it on their minds with the return of villains and an almost multiverse Sinister Six from past generations of Spider-Man movies. I am pretty sure that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in this movie, like 85 to 15%, to where I just don't see it making sense if they aren't, because what would be the point of bringing their villains that have no correlation to Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Also, leaks have gone out, multiple mentions in trailers and clips of the movie. They are definitely teeing up for something big, and yeah, I want this to still be a Tom Holland movie and his growth, so I think he'll be getting a helping hand in the last bit of the movie from his fellow web slingers. And boy, we all know I'm probably going to be crying like a baby from growing up with these past 2 iterations. So like I said, I want Tom Holland's Peter Parker to experience growth. There's always been the gripe, which hasn't bothered me as much as others, but it's understandable, that Tom's Peter in the MCU hasn't really grown up yet or has been seen as Iron Man Jr. I want him by the end of the movie to come out being the Spider-Man we all want him to be, and that's being an adult. Grasping the full, with great power comes great responsibility quota, and doing things on his own. I would love to see him become his own genius, maybe even make his own suit and not rely on Stark Tech, with the closing of his high school era trilogy and fighting a big purple man in space, fighting his own villains in his first 2 movies, seeing how serious being a superhero is, and then now fighting a cosmic multiversal threat, I would hope you would learn things from that. Number one, balance. With too many villains or too many characters to have screen time, I just hope Sony and Marvel have learned from previous mistakes with shoehorning plot when it doesn't fit. I want to see arcs with certain characters that make sense, utilize the villains, and utilize the friends of Spider-Man to where they have a reason to be there, to where it doesn't feel too out of place. I hope with coming out of this movie, it closes the Homecoming trilogy, but also opens many doors for future Spider-Man movies or other things. Cough, cough, Miles Morales. With knowing how Marvel is and how Sony is building their own universe of characters, I wouldn't be surprised if there are things to be teased. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video or what I had to say about the movie and what I think should happen in the movie or what the overall thing of Spider-Man No Way Home should be, then make sure to leave a like. If you want more videos like this for other movies that are coming out, where it's either movies in the next month or the next few months, because there is a lot of superhero movies coming out in 2022. I believe there's 9 to 10 superhero movies. Then comment that down below because I would love to know your thoughts. And if there's any way I can improve this, definitely let me know that too. This is my first time and I've been thinking on this video for a while, and I know it's the day of the movie release or right before the movie release, and I am totally excited to see this movie. I, again, will be doing a tier list video after this in the next day or two. Maybe I will do a Spider-Man No Way Home review, but that depends if you guys want that. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I want to get this channel out there, and I'm excited for the future of it. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys around.